From the moment the Tyler Robinson situation erupted online, the interviews, the accusations, the shaky videos, the leaked messages, everyone expected at least one person to speak. Not the insiders, not the commentators, not the distant political voices. Her, Erika Kirk, the woman who jumps into every trending crisis with a polished quote, a faith-soaked caption, a microphone-ready statement about values, truth, leadership, or God's timing. The woman who never wastes an opportunity to position herself publicly as the voice of calm, clarity, and conviction. Yet this time, when Tyler Robinson's name entered the conversation, she said nothing. Not a whisper. Not a post. Not a prayer hands emoji. Not a single carefully curated sentence designed to maintain her image. She vanished. Silence. A silence so deep, so suspicious, so unlike her usual behavior, that even people who supported her started asking questions. Why isn't Erika addressing Tyler? Does she know something? Why is she avoiding this? Is she involved or scared to be involved? What is she hiding? Because Erika's silence isn't normal silence. It's not quiet. It's not innocent. It's not passive. Erika's silence always means something. Something calculated. Something crafted. Something she doesn't want anyone else to look too closely at. And the timing couldn't be worse. Because Tyler Robinson didn't just bring a story. He brought receipts. Timelines, hints, contradictions, all pointing toward moments Erika hoped would stay buried forever. And she knows it. That's why the silence is louder than any denial she could have posted. People began digging, screenshotting, comparing dates, matching events, looking at photos Erika probably forgot she ever posted. A pattern emerged, and it wasn't a small one. Every time Tyler Robinson appeared in proximity to the movement, Erika's behavior shifted, her tone changed, her posts got vaguer, her interactions became colder, her presence became strangely strategic. And the deeper people dug, the more they realized. Erika's silence is not an accident. It's not grief. It's not processing. And it's definitely not softness. It's fear. Fear that Tyler Robinson's truth might unlock her truth. Fear that whatever happened between Tyler and certain insiders might expose the exact cracks in Erika's story she's been painting over for months. Fear that if she speaks, even one sentence, she might reveal more than she intends. Because Tyler didn't just bring allegations. He brought questions, dangerous questions, questions about timelines, questions about meetings, questions about conversations that contradict Erika's public image. And the one person who should have clarified things, the one person whose name keeps appearing in the background of the timeline, the one person who could put the rumors to rest, is the one person who refuses to speak. And that raises the biggest question of all. What is Erika Kirk trying so hard to avoid? Long before Tyler Robinson's name became the match that lit this entire wildfire, long before the internet began connecting dots that were never supposed to be connected, there was already something uneasy hanging over Erika Kirk's carefully curated world. A tension, a shadow, a strange shift that those closest to the movement noticed long before the public even knew there was a story to follow. The kind of tension that builds quietly, in whispered conversations, in uncomfortable glances, in meetings where people avoid eye contact because they're afraid of what the truth might reveal. Tyler wasn't just another name tossed into political chaos. He wasn't a random outsider. He wasn't a manufactured controversy. He was someone who was there. Someone close enough to hear things. Someone present enough to see things. Someone trusted long enough to know when something didn't smell right. And that is exactly why Erika's silence is so jarring. Because every time Tyler appeared in the background of the political sphere, every time his name surfaced in relation to events, every time he got close to major players, something in Erika's presence shifted. It wasn't obvious at first. It wasn't blatantly suspicious, but it was there. People who had been around Erika for years say she has tells. Subtle ones, small ones, invisible to the public but impossible to miss for anyone who knew her well. A change in posture, a tightening of the jaw, a shift in tone. A habit of looking away at the exact moment someone mentions a name she wishes would disappear. And Tyler Robinson's name? That was one of her biggest triggers. It wasn't always like that. In fact, in the beginning, Erika barely noticed him. He was just another volunteer, another enthusiastic face, another person trying to help. He didn't have a platform. He didn't have influence. He didn't have the power to threaten anyone. But what Tyler did have was proximity. He was there in hallways. He was there backstage. He was there in rooms where plans were whispered. He was there when tensions flared. He was there when certain things didn't add up. And slowly, without realizing it, Tyler began noticing a pattern. He saw Erika show up to meetings she wasn't scheduled for. He saw her linger near conversations she wasn't part of. He saw her intercept messages that weren't meant for her. He saw her insert herself into dynamics that had nothing to do with her role. And he saw one thing more troubling than anything else. The closer certain people got to confronting internal issues, the closer Erika drifted into their orbit. Like she was trying to control the narrative before it reached the surface. Tyler didn't think much of it at first. He assumed she was just ambitious, or insecure, or trying to appear more involved than she actually was. But then something happened. Something Tyler never forgot. A meeting was being held behind closed doors. A sensitive one. One where Charlie was present. One where high-level questions were being discussed about direction, messaging, and influence. Tyler wasn't in the room. He wasn't supposed to be. But he walked past the hallway at the exact moment he heard raised voices. Charlie's voice. Firm. Frustrated. Sharpened with disappointment. And then, a softer voice. Hers. Erika. Tyler paused, just for a second. But that second etched itself into his memory. Charlie said, "You're not listening. You're taking direction from someone who doesn't have this organization's best interest at heart." Tyler froze, because Charlie never raised his voice. Not unless something was seriously, deeply wrong. Then Erika said something Tyler never forgot, no matter how hard he tried. "You don't understand the connections he has. You don't understand what he can do." And that was the moment everything changed. Charlie wasn't just frustrated. He was alarmed. He stepped out of the room, saw Tyler in the hallway, and for a brief second, their eyes met. Charlie didn't look angry, or embarrassed, or irritated. He looked worried. And Tyler Robinson never forgot that expression. After that day, Erika's behavior shifted drastically whenever Tyler was nearby. She watched him more closely. She avoided him during gatherings. She stiffened when he entered a room. She grew colder, more calculated, more careful, almost as if she knew he had heard something he wasn't supposed to hear. And Tyler, being the type of person who notices things without meaning to, picked up on all of it. That's when the second strange thing started happening. Erika began telling people how close she had been to Charlie, how much he confided in her, how deeply he trusted her, how she understood his vision more intimately than anyone else. But those stories didn't match what Tyler saw behind the scenes, because after that confrontation, Charlie kept his distance from her. He avoided private conversations. He stopped including her in important discussions. He pulled in people he trusted, real allies, and shut out the ones who were connected to questionable influences. And in the middle of all of that, Erika's silence grew stronger. Not silence out of sadness, silence out of strategy. When Charlie died, Tyler assumed the truth would eventually come out, that people would remember the confrontation, That someone would speak up about the influence behind Erika's strange behavior. That someone would address the tension that had built up quietly for months. But nobody said a thing. Every time someone tried to bring up inconsistencies, they were told, "Don't attack her. She's grieving. She was close to Charlie. Leave her alone. She's fragile. Don't question her motives." And Tyler? He stayed quiet. He didn't have a platform. He didn't have a voice. He didn't want to start drama. But the more he watched Erika publicly rebrand herself as Charlie's confidant, the more he realized the truth didn't match the image she pushed online. So, when Tyler finally spoke up, when he hinted at what he witnessed, when he began sharing pieces of a story that didn't align with Erika's narrative, her silence became deafening. Not a single denial, not a single clarification, not a single attempt to explain the discrepancies Tyler pointed out. Because she knows one thing. Tyler's timeline matches reality. Tyler's memory matches what others saw. Tyler's details match actual events. And Tyler's proximity during those final months means he holds the missing puzzle piece she never wanted exposed. Erika's silence isn't protection. It's self-preservation. And the internet knows it now. That's why the world is asking, why didn't Erika correct Tyler? Why didn't she respond? Why didn't she defend herself? What exactly is she afraid Tyler might reveal next? Because silence isn't just absence. Silence is a message, and Erika's message is clear. She's terrified the truth is finally catching up to her. The real conflict didn't begin when Tyler Robinson posted his first video. It didn't even begin when he hinted at the confrontation he overheard between Charlie and Erika. The true conflict began the moment people started noticing the one thing Erika never anticipated. Tyler's timeline matched other people's memories. Not perfectly, not smoothly, but closely enough that people who had stayed quiet, out of fear, out of guilt, or out of pressure, suddenly felt their hearts pounding as they realized they weren't the only ones who saw something. Because while Erika hid behind silence, Tyler began speaking out. Not with rage, not with theatrics, not for attention. With a sort of exhausted clarity, like someone who had carried a weight silently for too long and finally decided to let it go. What made it worse for Erika wasn't what Tyler said. It was what he didn't say. The gaps, the hesitations, the moments where he paused like he was deciding how much the world was ready to hear. Those pauses made the internet insane. Those pauses made insiders panic. Those pauses made Erika disappear even deeper into silence. Because Tyler wasn't guessing. He wasn't speculating. He wasn't some random outsider piecing together a conspiracy. He was talking from memory. Memory of hallways, memory of voices, memory of moments Erika wished would never resurface. And then, the conflict erupted publicly for the first time. A mid-level staffer, someone who had been loyal to the movement for years, posted a long thread, one that almost immediately went viral. The first sentence alone changed everything. "I heard the confrontation between Charlie and Erika too. Tyler wasn't lying." The internet froze. Because Tyler himself never claimed to be the only witness. He didn't even know anyone else had heard it. And now someone was confirming it. Publicly, bravely, dangerously. The thread continued. Charlie wasn't just disappointed. He was angry. He said someone was whispering in Erika's ear. He told her she needed to stop listening to him. Him. The internet spiraled. Him? Who was him? Why did Charlie warn her? Why was Erika listening to someone Charlie didn't trust? And why was she now silent while Tyler revived the exact confrontation she wanted erased? The staffer's thread spread like wildfire. Screenshots, reaction videos, commentary channels, political influencers. Everyone weighed in. But the conflict escalated when another witness came forward, anonymously at first, in a leaked voice note. This person didn't just confirm the confrontation. They added a detail that sent chills through every viewer. Charlie told her, "If you keep letting him influence you, it'll destroy everything we built." Everything we built. That line shook the political world. Because if Charlie recognized a threat serious enough to destroy the movement, and Erika ignored him, and the influencer was still lurking in the shadows, then Erika's silence wasn't guilt. It was protection. Protection for someone who didn't want their name tied to this story. But then came the twist nobody was ready for. Tyler posted a follow-up video, longer, calmer, heavier. And in that video, he finally addressed the moment with more detail than ever before. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't accuse. He didn't dramatize. He spoke like someone haunted. "I wasn't supposed to hear it," he said. "I wasn't supposed to be in that hallway. But I heard him tell her she needed to step back from someone. He told her that the person she trusted was working against him. He said he didn't want that influence in his circle." The internet lost its mind. But Tyler wasn't done. He leaned closer to the camera, lowered his voice, and said the one thing that shifted the narrative permanently. And when he said that, she didn't defend herself. She defended him. The comments exploded instantly. Who did she defend? Who was she protecting? Why was she loyal to someone Charlie didn't trust? This is deeper than Erika. What was she involved in? Tyler continued. She said he didn't understand the connections. She said he didn't realize what this person could open for the movement. She said she couldn't just distance herself. Couldn't, not wouldn't, couldn't. Meaning what? Coached, manipulated, threatened, promised power, promised access, promised influence she could never achieve alone? The internet needed answers, but Erika stayed silent, and every time she refused to speak, Tyler's credibility grew stronger. His story grew sharper. His memories grew louder. But here's where the twist hits. After Tyler's video, an anonymous insider, someone with high-level access, someone who had been watching everything unfold, reached out to a political journalist with a message. A short one, but devastating. The message said, "Tyler is telling the truth, but he doesn't know the whole story." The journalist tried to get more information. They got nothing. Just a second message. Charlie wasn't just warning her. He was planning something. Planning what? The journalist pressed again. The insider finally sent a third message. He was preparing to expose the connection. He was going to name the person behind her. He told at least 2 people. He didn't get the chance. That was it. The missing piece. The shadow behind the shadow. The reason Erika's silence is so cold, so strategic, so controlled. Charlie had a plan. Charlie knew the influence behind her wasn't just harmful. It was dangerous. Charlie was preparing to reveal the name. And the moment Tyler started talking, people realized the truth. Erika's silence isn't about Tyler at all. It's about the man Charlie didn't live long enough to expose. And that man, the one who whispered in Erika's ear, the one who coached her, the one she defended against Charlie himself, is still out there, still influencing, still watching, still protecting himself. And Erika, she knows saying even one wrong word could drag his name into the light. That's the conflict. And the twist? Tyler isn't just exposing Erika. He's accidentally reopening the investigation into the exact mystery Charlie tried to solve before time ran out. Tyler Robinson never expected his quiet observations to become the center of a political earthquake. He never thought a moment he overheard in a hallway, a moment he wished he hadn't heard, would resurface years later as the key to unraveling a truth Charlie never got the chance to explain. But the more Tyler shared, the more the internet realized something terrifying. Tyler wasn't exposing a rumor. He was triggering a memory, a collective memory. Because once Tyler's video went viral, people who had been silent, out of fear, loyalty, confusion, or simple exhaustion, began remembering things they had buried years ago. Little things, strange things. Moments that didn't make sense at the time, but suddenly fit perfectly into the story unfolding now. And that's when the escalation began. The first major crack came from someone who once worked closely on event logistics. They posted anonymously. Erika was always around conversations she wasn't supposed to hear. She would show up early. She would stay late. She would accidentally walk into meetings. And she always repeated things Charlie didn't want repeated. This wasn't some angry ex-employee. This was someone who still had access. Someone who knew internal systems, schedules, and patterns. And they added something darker. She always acted like she had another source of information. Another source. Another person. Another influence. Someone Charlie didn't approve. Someone Charlie actively warned her about. Then came the next escalation. A former volunteer posted a long message describing a chilling moment that resurfaced in their memory after Tyler spoke out. I remember seeing Erika in a heated phone conversation. She was crying, pacing, angry. She said, "You told me I'd be protected." And then she saw me and hung up. Protected from what? Protected by WHO? That sentence exploded across TikTok. But the real shock came when a senior figure, someone respected, someone known for staying neutral, posted a cryptic message. There are reasons Erika cannot respond. Reasons she could never say publicly. Tyler is not the only one who heard things. People lost their minds. What reasons? Why can't she respond? Who is silencing her? What did she promise? Who did she defend? Theories flooded every corner of the internet. Then came the video. The anonymous account, the same one that had leaked early screenshots in other scandals, returned with a 6-second clip that wasn't supposed to exist. It showed two figures talking in a dimly lit hallway. Erika. And a man whose face was blurred but unmistakably held the posture of authority. The audio was faint but clear enough. Erika whispered, panicked, "He knows. Tyler heard him." The man replied, "Then you need to stay quiet. Do not feed the fire." The video ended. The internet erupted into chaos. This was no longer speculation, no longer rumor, no longer a maybe miscommunication. This was evidence. Evidence of a man behind Erika. Evidence of instructions being given to her. Evidence of silence being enforced. But that wasn't the final blow. Hours after the hallway video leaked, an email, an actual internal email, surfaced from a private chain. Subject line: Concerns regarding Tyler Robinson. The body of the email was a punch to the stomach. Tyler overheard classified internal matters months ago. He was not supposed to. Do not engage with him. Do not correct him. Do not mention this publicly. We will handle it internally. Handle what internally? Why was Tyler considered a threat? What classified matter did he overhear? Why were they coordinating silence around him? And why did this email match exactly what Tyler had hinted at? The escalation grew more intense when another insider released a voice note. This one was older, dated months before the current scandal, and it contained the voice of someone who worked directly with Charlie. They said, Charlie was stressed about someone feeding Erika talking points. He said she was being influenced by a person with dangerous motives. Dangerous motives. Not misguided motives. Not inexperienced motives. Not naive motives. Dangerous. The internet couldn't breathe. And still, Erika stayed silent. Every new reveal made her silence more suspicious. Every leak made her image crack deeper. Every piece of evidence built a picture that looked nothing like the woman she portrayed online. Then came the twist nobody was ready for. A journalist reached out privately to one of the insiders who had leaked anonymous messages. The insider agreed to speak, but only through text. The journalist asked the question on everyone's mind: why is Erika staying silent? The insider responded with 4 words: she's protecting someone bigger. Bigger. Bigger than Erika. Bigger than Tyler. Bigger than Charlie. Bigger than the organization. Someone with influence. Someone with power. Someone with reach. When pressed for more detail, the insider sent one more message. If she speaks, she exposes him. If she exposes him, she destroys herself. The journalist tried again. Who is he? What did he do? The insider stopped responding. Minutes later, their anonymous account disappeared. But something happened next that took the entire story from disturbing to terrifying. Tyler posted again. Not to defend himself, not to continue the story, not to escalate anything. He posted because someone contacted him. A message from an unknown number. Tyler showed the first line. You don't understand what you're uncovering. Then another. Charlie tried to warn people about him. Another. He's still operating. And the final line. Stop before he notices you. The internet erupted into a frenzy of panic and horror. Who was the man Charlie warned Erika about? What influence did he have? How did he manipulate her? Why did Erika defend him against Charlie? Why is she still protecting him now? And how many people has he silenced? But the real twist, the one that made millions of viewers stare at their screens like the ground just cracked open beneath them. A new insider. Someone who had never spoken before. Someone whose credentials were instantly verified. Stepped forward anonymously with a single bombshell message. Erika wasn't just influenced, she was being used. And the man behind her is one of the reasons Charlie wanted to reorganize everything before he died. Everything. The movement, the structure, the influence channels, the access points, the people behind the scenes. Charlie was planning to expose something. He was planning to call someone out. He was planning to protect the movement from a dangerous shadow figure. And Erika? She stood in the way, willingly or unwillingly. The escalation had reached a point of no return. The public no longer cared about Erika's polished image. They no longer cared about her Instagram quotes. They no longer cared about her silence being spiritual or respectful. They wanted the truth. Because now everyone understood. Tyler didn't just hear a confrontation. He heard the beginning of a war. A war Charlie didn't live long enough to finish. A war Erika wasn't brave enough to fight. A war the shadow figure behind her has been silently winning for years. And this was only the beginning. The moment Tyler revealed that chilling text message warning him to stop before he notices you, the entire digital landscape shifted. Panic didn't just rise. It detonated. People who had been half watching the situation suddenly went all in. Comment sections filled with fear, speculation, rage, curiosity, and theories so intense they read like classified intelligence reports. TikTok, X, YouTube, Instagram. Every corner of the internet was consumed with one question. Who is he? The man behind Erika. The man Charlie warned her about. The man Tyler accidentally stumbled into the crosshairs of. The man powerful enough to make Erika silent and keep insiders terrified. But the internet's reaction was nothing compared to what erupted inside the political world. At first, people tried to treat the situation like another dramatic controversy, loud online, quiet behind the scenes. But as more insiders confirmed Charlie's warnings and more leaks revealed a shadow figure pulling influence through Erika, panic started shaking the foundation of every room, every group message, every internal meeting. Public reactions were loud. Industry reactions were terrified. Because for the first time, people realized this wasn't a scandal. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't miscommunication. This was exposure. Exposure of something that had been operating quietly for years. The first major public eruption came on Twitter, where a popular political commentator posted, "This isn't about Erika. This is about the person she was listening to. Ask why she's protecting him." The tweet hit 20 million views in hours. People responded with hundreds of thousands of comments. She's protecting him because she's scared. She knows he can ruin her. He's the real enemy Charlie was fighting. Are we finally seeing what Charlie tried to warn everyone about? Erika is silent because she wasn't independent. She was influenced. Whatever this man did, Erika knows too much. But the industry reaction was even more unhinged. 3 prominent conservative podcast hosts, usually fearless, usually outspoken, suddenly avoided mentioning Erika altogether. In one live show, the host paused when her name came up, visibly uncomfortable, then said, "I'm not touching that. Not until I know who's behind it." Another host laughed nervously and ended the segment early. A third host whispered to his producer, "This is bigger than we can talk about on air." That clip leaked within minutes. The internet went wild. Why are they all scared? What do they know? Who is the man they're not allowed to name? Then, the first major crack in the industry. An insider from a political organization posted anonymously, "Everyone is pretending this is about Erika. Inside the building, it's not. It's about him. He has connections that make people freeze." Freeze. As in, stop talking, stop questioning, stop making noise. And then came something even more alarming. Screenshots leaked of internal Slack channels. One message read, "Protect messaging around Erika. Do not mention the Tyler incident publicly. Avoid all references to the confrontation Charlie had with her. Avoid all references to the man behind her." The internet exploded. Avoid references to what man? Why is he being protected? Why is there an official instruction not to mention him? Why is Erika now treated like a gate to something darker? Then, a journalist posted, "Multiple insiders confirm that the man behind Erika has ties beyond this organization. This isn't just influence. It's infiltration." Infiltration. That word made millions freeze. Because suddenly, this wasn't drama. This wasn't even corruption. This was sabotage. Strategic sabotage. One TV panel tried to discuss the situation. A liberal host poked fun. A conservative host tried to shut it down. And the expert guest, someone who knew people inside the movement, said, "You don't understand. If the name comes out, the entire structure could implode." Implode. The internet began spiraling. What structure? What is he connected to? How deep does this go? TikTok creators stitched Tyler's videos, adding commentary. "He wasn't just a witness. He's a threat to someone." Another creator said, "If Erika breaks silence, she doesn't just expose herself, she exposes him." But the reactions weren't all from commentators and journalists. Celebrities jumped in. A famous comedian tweeted, "This is the biggest political cover-up I've seen in years." If a comedian on stage can trigger this level of panic, imagine what the truth actually is. Another public figure said, "This is the kind of silence that destroys careers." But the deepest fracture came from within. Someone high-ranking, extremely high-ranking, anonymously contacted a mid-tier YouTube channel with a message. Charlie wasn't paranoid. He wasn't confused. He wasn't misled. He was right. The host read the message live. People watching froze. Comments went insane. Then the host read the second part. "This man has sabotaged multiple people in the past. Erika was just the most recent." People lost their minds. Multiple people? The past? A pattern? A repeat offender? Who was this man? What was his connection to Erika? How deep was this influence? How long had this been happening? And then, the moment that stunned everyone. Erika's own inner circle acquaintance, someone she has posted selfies with, liked a tweet that said, "Erika's silence is not her choice." Within minutes, she unliked it. But the internet already had screenshots, not her choice. Meaning what? Coercion, instructions, promised protection, blackmail, fear of retaliation. People started panicking for Erika, a twist nobody expected. Because as the evidence piled up, people realized Erika wasn't acting like someone hiding guilt. She was acting like someone hiding a person who still controls her, a person who controlled her then, a person Charlie tried to stop, a person Tyler accidentally exposed, a person insiders fear to name, a person who has been operating in the shadows for years. Every political commentator began their shows the same way. There's a man behind this. Nobody wants to say his name. And then came the biggest industry reaction of all. A top-level strategist, someone deeply connected to multiple organizations, tweeted, then deleted. The problem isn't Erika. The problem is the man who recruited her. Recruited. That word hit like a bomb. Recruited her? For what purpose? To infiltrate, to manipulate, to gain influence, to redirect decisions, to sabotage Charlie's agenda. People flooded the internet with theories. Is it a donor? Is it a political consultant? Is it someone with a government background? Is it someone who's been influencing multiple groups? Is this why Tyler was warned to stop? Screenshots of the warning Tyler received spread everywhere. Creators slowed the text down, analyzed every pixel. You don't understand what you're uncovering. You're stepping into something dangerous. He's still operating. He doesn't like attention. He will notice you. And the final line, stop before he notices you. People couldn't breathe. This wasn't random. This wasn't coincidence. This wasn't drama. This was a system, a network, a shadow figure using Erika as a vessel. One viral post put it best. Erika's silence isn't suspicious. It's a confession without words. As the public tore through every leak, every screenshot, every cryptic message, something strange began happening behind the scenes. Something quiet, something calculated, something that didn't look like panic, but looked like preparation. It started with Erika's silence deepening. Her social media went still. Not just paused, frozen. No new posts, no likes, no stories, no follows, nothing. Like she wasn't just avoiding the situation, but had been warned to disappear. Then staffers noticed something even more unsettling. People who had been panicking about the man behind Erika suddenly stopped talking. Entire group chats that had been active for 48 hours went dark. Mid-level voices who were posting theories and warnings suddenly deleted everything. Not with apologies, not with explanations. Just gone. Like someone tapped them on the shoulder and whispered, "Stop." But the real twist arrived in the middle of the night. Tyler posted again. Not a rant, not a continuation, not an exposé. He posted a screenshot of a voicemail he received. Unknown number. No transcript available. Just the notification. And Tyler wrote, "This isn't just about Erika anymore. He knows who I am." The internet erupted. Millions of views, millions of questions. People begging Tyler to post the voicemail. People begging him to call the police. People begging him to stop. But Tyler didn't post the audio. Instead, he deleted the screenshot 3 minutes later. And that alone terrified the audience. Because if Tyler, the guy who had been brave enough to speak, was now scared enough to delete proof, then whatever he heard on that voicemail was worse than anything the public had imagined. But the story wasn't done. Because right after Tyler deleted the screenshot, something unprecedented happened. the anonymous account returned. The same one that had leaked audio of insiders. The same one that posted the hallway video. The same one that hinted at the man behind Erika. It posted one message. He warned you once, he doesn't warn twice. The internet froze. Every viewer stared at that sentence like their own name had been called. Who was this man? Why was he so threatened? Why was he now targeting Tyler? How deep did his influence reach? Why did everyone who knew him stay so terrified? But the anonymous account wasn't done. It dropped a second message. Charlie wasn't the only one he tried to stop. People read it 3 times. Charlie's confrontation with Erika wasn't personal. It wasn't random. It wasn't about ego or leadership. It was about protection. Protection from a man who had been influencing decisions through unsuspecting people for years. And now it made sense why insiders were scared. Why journalists backed off. Why major commentators refused to name him. Why Erika went silent. Why Tyler was warned. Why the anonymous account kept disappearing after every drop. Because naming him meant consequences. Then came the final twist. The one that ripped the ground out from under the entire story. Another insider, one who had never spoken before, sent a message to a journalist with one sentence. Erika thought he was guiding her. She didn't realize she was being positioned. Positioned, not supported, not empowered, not mentored. Used. Used as a strategic piece. Used as access. Used to weaken people around Charlie. Used to gather information. Used to influence decisions. And the insider's final line was the darkest one yet. She wasn't the first, and she won't be the last. The internet exploded. This wasn't about Erika. It wasn't about Tyler. It wasn't about whispers in hallways or screenshots or TikTok theories. This was about a pattern. A pattern involving someone with enough power to manipulate, to silence, to recruit, to threaten, to infiltrate, to operate behind the scenes without being named, and to shut down anyone who got too close. And then, the anonymous account posted one last message before disappearing again. You're not ready for his name. The entire world froze. If the anonymous account, the same account brave enough to leak dangerous footage, believed people weren't ready, then the man behind Erika wasn't just influential. He was something else, bigger, darker, more connected, more dangerous. Someone with reach that extended far beyond one organization. Someone who had touched multiple people in multiple circles. Someone Charlie had tried to expose, but ran out of time. Someone who now saw Tyler as a threat. Someone who had kept Erika silent. Someone who had been waiting in the shadows for years. And the final cliffhanger came not from Tyler, not from insiders, not from journalists. It came from Erika herself. Her account, silent all night, suddenly flashed online. She didn't post a photo. She didn't post a video. She didn't post a quote. She posted one story, a black screen, with 3 words. I can't talk. No explanation, no context, no denial, no clarification, no defense, just a confession wrapped in fear. And then, her account went dark again. Everything stopped. If Erika can't talk, then someone is stopping her. Someone bigger than her. Someone bigger than Tyler. Someone who doesn't want the truth out. And the audience is left with the only question that matters. If she can't talk, who is she afraid of? Before you click away, before you scroll to the next video, before you pretend you didn't just watch one of the darkest, most chilling political truths crack open in real time, stop. Because what you just heard isn't the end of this story. It's the beginning of something far bigger than Erika's silence, bigger than Tyler's warning, and bigger than the shadow figure who clearly doesn't like being mentioned. Right now, we're standing at the edge of a truth Charlie never got to reveal. A truth that insiders are terrified to name. A truth that made Tyler delete evidence. A truth that forced Erika to break her silence with those 3 terrifying words. I can't talk. So here's where you come in. Scroll down right now and drop your theory in the comments. Who do you think is the man Erika is protecting? Why did Charlie warn her about him? Why is Tyler being told to stop? Who has the power to silence Erika, intimidate insiders, and erase evidence within minutes? And why is everyone, from staffers to strategists to commentators, too scared to say his name out loud? Your theory might be the exact one that cracks the next layer open. Hit like if this story had you replaying moments, pausing clips, or sitting in complete silence wondering how deep this goes. Subscribe because part 2 is coming. And when we finally get closer to naming the man behind this entire mess, you do not want to be the last person to see it. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the moment the anonymous account returns, the moment Tyler speaks again, or the moment Erika finally decides whether silence will protect her or destroy her. And here's the final question, the one guaranteed to set the entire comment section on fire. If Erika can't talk, then who is stopping her? And what happens when his name finally comes out?